Hi, good back, and welcome to this Wednesday's program, falling on December the 7th. Glad as always to have you with us. We'll talk about what's going to be mostly dry air but cold air. Big old mass of Arctic air slowly moving into the area. We'll see some flurries. I think will be the most of the precipitation if we see any between now and at least the first half of your weekend, but definitely that colder air that we've been expecting now for several days. As I'll be off to catch a little middle school basketball action after the game, after the show, that is. During the show, we'll get caught up on high school basketball and stats and schedules for all of our viewing area teams. Some teams starting to build up or get into their season schedule, 5-6 games or so in. One viewing area team still yet to play that first season opener. Nevertheless, we'll talk about that. More progress and more history being made in regards to the Parkway expansion project. 2 of the 3 McLaughlin Countyans sentenced in the vote fraud/vote buying case have indicated that they are appealing their sentence. We'll be able to share with you what I can via court documents in just a few moments. While Lawrence County didn't have any classes earlier today, and that I think that same sinking feeling, which we'll begin with in just a second, that we all felt when we started to hear about the fires, felt as we heard about how those fires started earlier today in Gatlinburg. We'll just touch on that briefly before we get to our local and regional headlines. Weather-wise, like I said, we'll save the best for last. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. We'll save the rest of it, let's say, for last in just a few moments. With that Arctic air mass moving rather slowly, but we're going to be in for mostly dry air with the exception of a few flurries through most of your week and all the way through Saturday. It's going to be cold, and I'll tell you how cold and when you need to bundle up the most in just a few moments. Indeed, I had that sensation today that I akin to being similar to that sinking, heartbroken feeling that I had when we started to learn of the fires and all the damage that they were doing, and then, of course, left behind in Gatlinburg, those fires that so far have claimed the lives of 14 people, another 160 at least injured, and right around 2,000 structures, most of which destroyed, others damaged, 14,000 people evacuated. As for the city of Gatlinburg, it was open today to property owners. It will be open to everyone else and the public this Friday if the schedule does stay on schedule. But today we learned how the fire began to some degree, not necessarily how it began per se, but who may be responsible, as the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation announced that it was 2 teenagers, 2 kids, if you will, who are jailed and believed to be responsible for starting the fire. Images and reports began to rivet the city of Gatlinburg, the state of Tennessee, the nation as a whole, and continue to do so and still are, as it's still really untold as to what the long-term effect will be. But those images are all from a fire that was initially started by 2 juveniles. We don't know how they started it, by what means, exactly where, even though we have a particular area, or how old the juveniles are. However, officials did say today in a press conference held at 3 o'clock that 2 juveniles they are sure are responsible for setting the devastating wildfire in Sevier County, Tennessee. Authorities say that the 2 had been charged with aggravated arson. They also stressed that it's very likely that additional charges will follow. And they were taken into custody earlier this morning and are being held in the Sevier County Juvenile Detention Center. As being juveniles, of course, no information about their identities or anything else of that nature. The district attorney, however, has gone on record to say that they are not from Sevier County. However, they are Tennessee residents. And right now, in addition to facing more charges, they say they could as well be tried as adults. In the 14 deaths, the more than 160 injuries, and of course what will surely amount to tens and tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in damages.
Oh my God. Well, at least the tree just started at Natty Branch. We're going the wrong way.
I suspect it won't be long before students all across the viewing area will be anxiously awaiting some possible snow days. For Lawrence County, the entire school district got off today, not due to the weather, but due to a chemical situation that happened in the Lawrence County High School last evening after classes had been dismissed for the day. There was an acid spill last night in a room next to the chemical lab, and it ultimately led to the evacuation, first off and immediately after it was reported, and then the closure of the building after it was completely evacuated. This all happened yesterday, about an hour, maybe two or so after the Lawrence County High School classes has dismissed for the day. Most students and staff were gone, but there were still some in the building. They had to be evacuated, of course. This after 911 got a call about a hazardous chemical spill that had taken place in the schools or near the school's chemical lab room. It was discovered that a small amount of what we are told was sulfuric acid, some sort of an industrial acid, had been spilled inside a contained room. We know that those who were there when the spill happened have not been identified. We are told that they weren't injured. No other information about them was given. Fire department personnel did respond. They evacuated everyone, of course. The building was shut down. They had cleaned up and had most of the spill contained. However, there was some damage that was done to some material, I think the floor and the walls, that would take more cleaning during the overnight. So the decision was made by the superintendent of schools to go ahead and call off classes for the day because it's, as we all know, hard to cancel classes at one school, especially your high school, and keep all the other classes, of course, on a regular schedule. While several projects are underway in Magoffin County at various locations that we've been talking about now for months in regards to the Mountain Parkway expansion project, actual road construction, the first road construction of the Restaurant Row area, has begun. Other bridges have been constructed. Some are being constructed, some nearing completion. This one just began today, and it will sit just to the left, if you will, of the bridge that takes, of course, traffic east and west over the Burning Fork on the Mountain Parkway. Crews, as you can see, are preparing to relocate underground utilities near the current Burning Fork Bridge just west of the US 460 intersection, and soon work is going to begin to build a new bridge on the south side of the parkway that will carry the expanded four-lane parkway over Burning Fork, as you see a little closer here. Marshall Carrier tells me today that the initial bridge work won't impact traffic, but they want them to know that they are indeed working in the area, and basically, like any and all parts of the construction area, slow down, watch for speed limit signs, watch for lane changes. What I can tell you right now is that the new bridge will be constructed, as you can see them building the pad here to the left of the current bridge. Once that bridge is completed, they'll take east and westbound lanes over that new bridge, tear down this bridge, and then a westbound lane bridge will be constructed here or near this location where the old bridge or the current bridge is located now, and then we'll have two bridges over Burning Fork. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Federal court documents indicate that 2 of the 3 Magoffin Countyans just sentenced for vote buying or vote fraud or election fraud have filed paperwork to begin their appeal process. As I told you, the day of sentencing, the judge and the court indicated they had 14 days to do so. We also were able to indicate at that time through their attorneys talking to the media that both Larry Shepard and Gary Rooster Reisner had intended or were intending to file an appeal. Paperwork on file today, however, says that Gary Rooster Reisner has given notice to the court that he is appealing the Sixth Circuit from the judgment in the criminal case against him, in which he was sentenced to 33 months, 555 hours of community service, and 3 years of probation, in which, of course, he can have no portion of any political campaign. The other appeal comes, though, from Tammy Jo Reisner this evening. Court documents say that she, too, has filed an appeal, appealing her sentence of 1 year and a day, given credit for time served, for which the time she was incarcerated and underwent a mental and physical evaluation. Larry Shepard, through his attorney, indicated that he too would be appealing the case. However, paperwork just indicates that has not happened as of yet, even though it is expected. This, of course, after Shepard sentenced to 30 months in prison, fined $20,000, and sentenced to 3 years in probation, in which he too can have no portion or input or participation in any type of a political campaign or work in his wife's clerk's office or any other government-related office during his probationary period of 3 years. More headlines in a few moments. Right now, let's find out what's happening. Indeed, a lot is, and it begins with birthday wishes tonight. That's tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. Yeah, birthday wishes tonight going out to Melinda Crace. It says, happy birthday, Melinda, from Marty and the grandbabies. They wish you lots and lots and lots of love. Happy birthday to Melissa Crace this December 7th. We've also got a special 60th going out tonight. That's right, his birthday is today, and he's 60. Happy birthday, Paul Reisner Sr. from a whole lot of family and a whole lot of friends, too. Happy 60th to you. A reminder from last night that you have until this Friday if you want to register to be a part of the 4-H Country Ham Project at the Extension office. All you got to do is come in, fill out the paperwork, which means basically you give them $40 for country ham, show up about 2 or 3 times over the course of the next year, and you will learn everything there is to do and know about the process, history, and science of curing hams. It's great for the kids, too. It can be a family project or just involve whoever you would like. The Order of the Eastern Star out of McGoffin County is having their annual Christmas party on December the 10th. That is this Saturday at 6 o'clock. And if you bring a child, please bring a gift for Santa to hand out. They're also doing an ornament exchange for anyone who wants to participate. Don't forget that you're invited by the Extension homemakers to attend their Mingle Jingle. That's next Tuesday, 6 o'clock at the Extension office. And this year they'd like for everyone to invite your spouses and family to come with you. If you're A through M, that's your last name, bring a dessert. N through Z, bring a veggie or salad. In place of the ornament exchange, bring a donation if you can to the Community Service Project for the Kentucky Mission Bible Teen Center. Patchwork Play Dates, which is for infants to 5 years of age who must be accompanied by an adult, are having their Christmas party next Tuesday, 10 till noon. They'll have some activities and snacks, and by the way, their Christmas program is Thursday the 22nd, 5 till 7. Water into Wine has told me that they're going to be distributing this coming Wednesday. That's a week from today. Wanted to make sure you had plenty of notice. 8:30 till 3. Of course, they take a break in the middle there from 11:30 to 12:30. If you are coming to pick up from someone for someone else, you have to have their pantry card and a written note with the signature and date and phone number. That is if you're picking up for someone else. And don't forget about the McGoffin County Cattle Association Christmas Gala, set for Tuesday the 20th at 7 o'clock. This is full of entertainment and a wonderful turkey dinner. That is the McGoffin County High School Choir, Sagesville Grade School Choir, and Hands of Worship. I'm sure a lot of festive songs and presentations. All proceeds go toward funding a scholarship presented to a McGoffin County High School graduating senior. For tickets, you can call Becky Allen at the McGoffin County High School or call the McGoffin County Extension Service as well. You would think it was Monday with as much trouble as I'm having getting a few simple words out. I try not to do it often, so I'll try not to do it on your calendar announcement. All you have to do to get it to us, right there on your screen, and that includes birthdays and anniversaries too. One last announcement that I nearly forgot. We had a caller come in the other day. I just didn't get it typed in. I completely slipped my mind. But Barbara Cole, who lives on Route 30, has a beagle that's shown up at her home. It's got a collar, and she knows it's someone's pet. So if you've lost a beagle that may be in the Route 30 area, call her at 349-3429. Turning to funeral service announcements provided by our friends at the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We have a listing tonight, more information about the passing and services for 65-year-old Lindsay Lee Wheeler of Littorals Fork Road. He's survived by his companion and mother of his children, Judy Gamble Wheeler, son Michael Wheeler, and daughter Wendy. Visitation is after 6 o'clock tomorrow, all day Friday, and prior to services that will be Saturday at 1, all from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Andrew and his team are playing some middle school basketball tonight, which is where I'm off to, trying to make it on time. But before I do that, a few other items of business, and that includes a quick update, a little midweek update, if you will, on our ladies and gentlemen taking to the hardwood. Some teams about 5 or 6 games in. For the Paintsville Tigers, still yet to play their seasonal opener. The Eagles 2-0 from Johnson Central after a near 30-point victory over June Buchanan. Now, that was back on the 1st. They've had a few days to rest and recuperate. Not that they're that far into the season, probably anxious to go. And they're going to Lawrence County tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30 for the boys and Coach McKenzie. That's the Eagles and June Buchanan, 76-47 versus Lawrence tomorrow night on the road. The Lady Eagles, a big win by 30 over Pike Central. That was just last night. That was a home game for the Lady Eagles. They're now 3 games in, 3 wins in. They'll also be at Hazard this Friday night. That is this Friday night, tip-off set for 7:30 for the Lady Eagles. The Bulldogs and Coach Travis York of Lawrence County came up with a win over East Ridge night before last. That was a road game for them. They're 5 games into the season. They've only dropped 1. Wins over Morgan, East Carter, and Russell. A loss to Boyd County, and then a win this week against East Ridge on the road, 66-49. Puts the boys from Lawrence County at 4-1. As for the ladies, they've got 4 games in, 3 of them W's. A win against Rose Hill, Elliott County, a loss to Notre Dame, Ohio at Greenup County in the Greenup County tip-off. But then last night at home versus Allen Central, a 67-28 win over Allen Central. That puts the girls off for the weekend, but at June Buchanan Monday at 7:30. The team ranked first in the 15th region preseason is not doing that well as of right now. The home team, that is, dropped one to Oldham County in grand fashion, 28-86. Now, that was on the road. That was backing up to Saturday night over last weekend in the Kentucky Bank Classic. That means after their win out of the gate against South Floyd, 63-56, they've lost 2 in a row, and that drops them from the first in the 15th region down to about 8th or 9th place behind Shelby Valley, Lawrence County, Allen Central, Pike Central, Johnson Central, East Ridge, Sheldon Clark, and South Floyd. The boys, however, are in action on the road. That is on the road tomorrow night, as you saw, at Betsy Lane. The Lady Hornets dropped one by 30, 41-71 against Valley. That puts the Lady Hornets with 1 win over Sheldon Clark, but 3 losses thus far. They're looking to pick up their 2nd win as they travel to Betsy Lane tomorrow night. Coach Perry and his Cougars ousted Lewis County by 4, just by 4 last night on the road. Now they're on the road again this Friday night at 7:30 at Robertson. That's Robertson County. And that puts the Cougars, by the way, at 3-1. Well, I actually should say 1-3. My apologies. 1 win on the season. That win last night was their first of a 4-game season thus far for the boys in Morgan County. For the ladies, winless right now. 0 wins, 4 losses, and this comes after a loss in the EKC tournament. Actually, a couple. First against West Carter, and then Lewis County on the 3rd and the 5th, night before last. That puts them up for a home game. And actually only their 2nd home game of the season. They'll be hosting Raceland this Friday night down in Morgan County. That's the Lady Cougars. Still nothing new to report for the Paintsville Tigers and Coach Landon Sloan. Of course, they haven't played yet. Their season kicks off officially tomorrow night. They're hosting Pike Central for their season and home opener tomorrow night. So that's all I got to say as for the boys. Meanwhile, the Lady Tigers and Les Trimble, 3 games in, 3 wins in, 53-43, night before last on the road at Belfry. They've not played at home yet. Road games to Betsy Lane, Pikeville, and Belfry, all wins. However, they're coming home, but they're not doing it until Monday. That's right, when they're hosting Allen Central. So they've got a few nights this week and the weekend off, but looking for their 4th win in a row on their first home game next Monday night. Now wrapping it up for tonight, at least, with your Licking Valley RECC outlook. How do you like my backdrop there? I just thought that made for a wonderful backdrop for a whole lot of reasons. for tonight, and we're looking at some continued dry weather for the next several days, next few days at least, maybe a flurry or two, and that's going to be the most precipitation I think we'll see for a while. We'll see about 27 degrees, 36 right now and falling. If you're catching the end of the early show, we should bottom out at around 27 tonight. We should do so under mostly cloudy skies. We're also doing this awaiting the arrival of an Arctic air mass that's already working its way into the area, obviously, but you're going to feel it more as the days go on. So mostly cloudy tonight. Won't be shocked if we see a flurry or two after 2 a.m. Mostly cloudy skies in the morning on your Thursday should become gradually sunny with a daytime high of 36. When you factor in that 36-degree daytime high with winds out of the west from 5 to maybe 17 mile per hour gusts, it's going to be chilly tomorrow, even though we'll see skies become sunny, at least partly sunny. By tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies is all there is to say. No precipitation. For Friday, the flurries make their way back in. A chance of flurries actually in the morning between maybe 7 and 11 on your Friday. Otherwise, partly sunny and completely cold. 29 for daytime peaks and 14 for lows that night. Under, once again, a few flurries and what will be maybe partly cloudy skies that night. Friday's temps are going to be when we're going to bottom out from all of this Arctic air. We'll dig out slowly Saturday. Please disregard Sunday's daytime high. I'll get to that in just a second. As for the first half of our weekend, which is getting a little closer. Hey, it's up day and midweek, and we're getting on the downhill side of things. But for Saturday, 34, mostly sunny. A low of 24. Clouds are going to increase that night. They'll do so out in front of the next system. That doesn't give us 35 Sunday, but temperatures actually should be closer to about 45, maybe 43 to 45 degrees on your Sunday. My apologies. That's where we should be. It's also with those temperatures in the low 40s Sunday that we're going to see maybe a chance of some snow before 11, then rain. And then rain late that night, maybe some rain and snow likely on your Sunday night, as I think the precipitation's still going to be well around by the time we get back down to well below freezing on Sunday. So maybe a few flakes to start it off Sunday, some rain in the middle, snow late. Not looking for a big accumulation or any really out of this, but could be the most we've seen thus far. And I'm taking into account the few flurries that we're going to see, mind you, because we haven't seen any right now. Nevertheless, and after Sunday on into your Monday, a chance of rain and snow in the morning, then rain, of course, in the middle. And then by Monday night, we'd get back below freezing, and still I expect to see some precipitation in town and enough to see a changeover back to some snow on Monday night. Kids, no snow days as of yet in your forecast. Don't get that excited, but we will see temperatures into the 40s for the next few days thereafter early next week. I'm set tomorrow to talk to someone about an annual event that we hope a lot of you will be able to support for the kids in the area, and some other news and information and interviews that we are working on. Something began today, something we'll have on for tomorrow. With that said, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.